Hey everyone, welcome back to 5-Day Crypto. My name is Chase. Happy Friday. Today we're going to look at one, aka Harmony. Why? Because it's up almost 30% today. So why not? Let's take a look and see what we have coming up. So if you like the video today, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Twitter, Telegram, and Patreon if you want to learn more than what you see in my videos. Always happy to help. So here's what we got. 5-Day Gaussian channel. Why is this important? Well, most coins, when they come in the Gaussian channel, they tend to spend a while in here. However, one seemed to ignore that and just barely came in, bullish move right outside of it. And now what do we have going on? Well, look at today's candle, right? Amazing upside. But what do we have as far as what to look for next? Holy shit, pause much. So what... Sorry about that. I'm one cut takes. This is all you get. So why is it breaking out right now? Well, let's go back to that 5-day. I don't know what's going on. So why are we getting this, right? Well, we had our first warning sign right here. Not of a warning sign bad, warning sign good. Why? Why did this candle matter? Because look left. The all-time high closing candle right here. We closed at Bueller. I was waiting, like I'm waiting for somebody to say it, right? We closed this 5-day candle at 18 cents. Where did we close this one? Higher. If you're closing higher than all-time previous closing candles, more likely than not, you're getting ready in the not-so-distant future for the next tier up. What do I mean by that? Well, let's go look left. Look at the last rise up to the all-time high right here. And then what happened after you cleared that? A tier up. So are we going to tier up all the way up here like this? Well, maybe, but more likely than not, you're going to have some kind of a temporary pullback. Now, this might not look like much to you, but I assure you, it was a little shocking when it happened. So let's take a look from the high candle up all the way down. Over 55% to the downside temporarily. Only took about a week and a half. And then more upside. So what am I saying? Well, we could go to 30 cents tomorrow, next week, 40 cents, whatever. But more likely than not, you're going to have a pullback at some point. But don't lose the faith, because this is a bullish move, no doubt about it. Now let's go look at some other charts. So this is all dropped down to the daily chart. We have our 200-day simple moving average and our 50-day simple moving average. So we'll look at this yellow circle. What does that mean? That's a golden cross. Now on most coins, as you get your golden cross, over the next coming days or weeks, you're going to have at least a kind of a retest. Most after the golden cross, yes, you do need this to make a bigger move to the upside, but temporarily, you're going to more than likely have a downside. And then you get your test, you make sure you're good, you refuel the rocket, and then you look like you're probably good to go. So that's what we're doing now. How about the last time that one had a golden cross? Let's go take a look. Look what happened last time. Golden cross, a little bit of a downwards action, right? Less than most. A lot of coins do something similar to what we just did with prolonged downwards and kind of retest that 50 and then move. One back in February, did not care. He's ready to roll, and he went. So here's that 50% retrace after the substantial move up. So just be aware that there's going to be bumps along the way. So when is a great time to be investing in coins is, although you can make money in the short term by getting in here, right? We probably go to 30 cents, something like that over the next handful of days. But unless you're in it for the long haul and you're believing in projects, or you just want to day trade, make a quick, 5-10%, sure. But that's more risky. The least risky is buying when your prices are low, when nobody else wants to, and when prices seem like they're going to go down forever. That's usually the times to be buying, not necessarily when everyone's super excited and you're, only up. So let's go look at some more stuff. The weekly chart of one, just that same kind of field that we just looked at, but on a bigger scale. Now notice this kind of bowl here, right? This is also known as this is pretty close to a cup and handle, textbook cup and handle as you can get. So look at this. Here's the lid line. Hopefully you can use your imaginative skills here. If not, I can help you, right? Look at this. And then you want to have pretty much be able to draw like a line always filling this bottom here too. You don't want to have a cup that, you know, has a line up here. You want to see all these wicks. It's pretty nice, little roundish. And then you kind of retest the lid. You drop back a little bit. This is perfect. Cup and handle is really bullish pattern, and it seems to be playing out. You want to wait. If you're a pattern trader, you want to wait for the confirmation to happen and not necessarily think that you're just going to you know, explode, right? But we got a retest of right on our 21-week moving average, which is also fantastically bullish sign. Then look at the last 2-week candles. Notice these wicks. When you have a super wicks on the bottom, that is very helpful. And look at this last week's candle. That is a Dragonfly Doji candle. That's about as most bullish candle as you can get on a weekly chart right there. And look what's happening this week. We're breaking out again. And now we're in price discovery mode almost as we speak. So let's look at that last time this happened, right? After you break out of your all-time high on a weekly scale, look at the candle move that happened. After testing your 21-week, look at that. Holding above the 21-week. So lots of bullishness going on. Let's go to the next one. Now, look at the RSI for 1. So generally speaking, where would you want to be buying? Well, generally speaking, you want to be buying down at these low levels. Generally speaking. Not always, right? Because we have a super bullish pattern on 1. It just depends on your plan. Are you in it just to make, you know, 10% and get out? Or are you a believer in 1 and you think it could potentially go to $1 plus and you want to hold long term? So investing and, you know, deciding where to put your money also depends on what your ideal scenario is. Everyone's a little bit different. I recommend buying for the long term, waiting for RSIs and other indicators to be pretty low, generally when nobody else wants it, and then it doesn't matter if you get 10, 20% pullbacks along the way, because guess what? Let's look at this date, June 22nd of 2021. What were the prices for 1 on June 22nd, 2021? I'm glad you asked. Let's go look. June 22nd, 2021. We just so happened to have said candle right here. Well, you would have been able to buy 1 for a nickel, roughly, right? Pretty much the whole day. You could have bought 1 around 5 cents. So if you're making 4x, 5x, if you're up 4x right now, which you could be, right? And not so long. How long ago was that? So if you're just patient and you wait for coins to drop low, right? 350% in 100 days. Are you real worried about a 10% drop? No, really. Are you worried about 10% drop if you bought at 20 cents? Probably, right? So that tends to be if your portfolio seems to always be losing money, or if you seem to not be able to, you know, catch the right coin, it's probably because you're buying only when people are excited about it, or you see said YouTube videos about it when prices are getting ready to potentially explode, right? So yeah, you can make 1 or 2x pretty quick here. But you could also, if you buy at the wrong time, if you're trying to time the market versus spend time in the market, this is generally the sentiment of most people. So people that are buying coins near all-time highs, which is theoretically easiest to do because everything in your brain, everything on social media says only up, right? Everything's positive. This is the time where it's troubling because it just tends to be the not so great times to be purchasing. Now, if you've got in 1 and you're all in 1 at a nickel, or Jesus, if you got in back here, then you don't care about a 5 or 10% drop, right? You're pretty happy right now. I would pretty much assume that. So let's fast forward back to the RSI. Now look, generally speaking, when you're above 80 on the RSI on a daily scale, it starts to be a little bit overbought. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go down for months or years at a time, right? It just means it's probably due for some kind of a cool off. However, look at 1 now. We're at 68. Is this a great time to be maybe entering? Maybe not. Okay, maybe not, but we still have some room to go, don't we? So that's why I say we could possibly go to, you know, tomorrow we could wake up and 1 is at 30 cents or even higher. But unless you're in it just for the quick minute, this is generally not the time you want to be investing initially for your first initial offering, okay? So having said that, let's go look at the next chart. Bigger picture, monthly time scale for 1. look at what it's done. Basically, after it found its footing, right? Most coins just kind of bleed out for the first part of it. Certainly during a pre-pandemic drop, right? One is just finding its footing, building consolidation, its initial boom up, and now we're, down, up. This is a nice pattern. Look at this V-shaped recovery on a monthly scale. This is perfect. This is what you want to see. And now, look, see this candle back here? We closed this one, but just shy of 2 cents. What happens after we close above that? Right here. The next month, explosion. So here's our all-time high closing candle. We tried to do it last month. We closed just under it this month. Look what we're doing. Are we going to explode now? Next month? Who knows? But this is bullish across the board, even on a big scale. I mean, bullish for one. So you could see we are not that far away from, just making another move. So this went a little bit obscene, right? Let's see what this move went from just since this year. One went from bottom to top 50, almost 5,500%. So I doubt we're going to get another move like that. Usually your initial moves are pretty explosive. But, let's see where we are to 50 cents. We're only 100%, 2x from there to $1, 300% from there. Certainly, I think that's on the cards over the, the rest of this bull market. Above and beyond, sure. One has got a lot of use cases. I'm bullish on one. It's certainly in my, top coins. I like all these coins that are on my chart. So if you're wondering, yep, it's up there. Maybe Coinbase is rumored to be getting one as well. So hopefully that happens in the not so distant future. And I think that'll even propel it even higher. So we will see. But, one short term, long term, it's all looking bullish. Just be aware of speed bumps along the way. You're going to have 10, 20% pullbacks across the board, even in Bitcoin, Ethereum, even the big money movers. Bitcoin's going to have 10, 20% corrections along the way. And when it does, likely one and other altcoins are going to crash even harder. So just generally speaking, buy and hold. In bull markets, that can potentially be your best investment. Find winners, pick strong projects, and you should be rewarded quite nicely. If you're investing all these meme coins, you're just playing with fire. You can juggle for a while with fire, but sooner or later, your clothes are going to burn. Maybe your face. I don't know. So let's see if we got anything else. All right, one Bitcoin. So I'm a big believer in looking at your coin against Bitcoin because Bitcoin's the king of crypto. If your coin's not outperforming the king, just hold the king. So is one outperforming the king? Hell yeah. On a monthly scale, look at this. We had this in our last video too. So same thing we kind of just talked about, right? You break out of this zone. Here's your kind of break out area. You break it. You're usually going to come back and retest that zone. So keep that in mind as we're doing this now on a big scale. No matter where one goes here, this is comparing with Bitcoin now, not necessarily against USD. Doesn't necessarily have to fall, right? But against Bitcoin, it's the odds are at some point in time we got to come back and test this. Now that doesn't mean that prices have to go down with one. How is that possible? Well, if Bitcoin goes up 100% over the next month, it's likely that one is not going to keep pace with that, right? As Bitcoin dominance picks up this bull market, Bitcoin goes to 100K or 200K, whatever. And this valuation would likely fall. So keep that in mind with Bitcoin, but substantially great moves, especially during these times when Bitcoin's outperforming the majority of the market. One is making gains against Bitcoin. We're now up almost 30% on the day. So pretty impressive out of one. So hopefully you like this. Hopefully you learned something in this video today. And give us a thumbs up if you haven't already. Let's look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, as we like to do on a daily basis. We're now at 74, so we dropped a little bit from yesterday. Extreme Greed starts at 75 or higher. We're now in greed. So we'll be in greed until, I think it's 55-ish. 55 flips to neutral, if I believe. Something right in there. So let's go look on the chart. We're looking great across the board. So you could stay in, we'll take this out to 3 months. You could stay in greed and extreme greed for a while, right? We were in all of August, even through September, over a month in pretty much extreme greed. So now we're back up here. Are we going to stay here? Who knows? right? Don't try to predict the future. Just look at the charts and interpret the data. So we're still good structurally until we make a lower low. That's 49. That's back in fear. So we have a long ways to go. We're looking good. What we want to do is either range like we did back in here, and then prices can continue to go pretty high. If, however, we have a 10%, 20% pullback out of Bitcoin on a given day, which is certainly likely, we want to watch for that 49. If we come down and make like a 48 or lower, then I think for the short term, at least, we're probably due for a more substantial pullback, or at least a crab, sideways kind of market. So that's that. Let's get to our quote of the day. Warren Buffett, never depend on a single income. Make investment to create a second source. And I would say not only that, but a third source or a fourth source or a fifth source. The average millionaire has 7+ sources of income. Maybe you didn't know that. They do. All right. So do something. Side hustle. Sell stuff on Craigslist or on eBay, whatever. I'm sure some of you already do that. Fantastic. All right. What else we got? Car of the day. Ford GT, but what is this paint code? It's the Heritage Edition in the Gulf. GULF. I so happen to have said similar car right here. Similar paint scheme. I would say exact one, actually. Same wheels, everything. Pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of those color codes, but, I get it. It's a kind of special edition kind of thing. My colors for the Ford GT, my pick would be this one. Boom. Kind of like the stealth black with the matte black wheels, kind of red accent brakes, red accent wheels, or mirrors, not wheels. They got the little thin racing stripe in the front. I like that. I'd probably take this one. If I had to pick, if someone's going to give me a Ford GT and I got to pick my color, because that's likely to happen, this is probably it. Or yellow. I love my supercars in yellow too. So, all right, that is the video for the day. Hopefully you liked one. If you got in one early, I want to know, how early did you get in one if you're already in it? If not, maybe you're trying to make a few % gains over the next handful of days, weeks, whatever, but just be aware of temporary pullbacks as coins are mooning. They need some consolidation and breathing time. So be wary. But if you got in one early, you're probably pretty happy right now.